the Valvoline Forest Rally Championship in association with Motorsport Ireland and Quilcha.
It's a cold and dark morning here at the Abbey Hotel in Donegal Town, but the 2012 Valvoline National Forestry Rally Championship is just about to get underway. Well, the Cork man Owen Murphy may not be here to defend his title this morning. However, leading the field here from Park Ferma is the Monaghan man Vincent McAree. He's number one on the road. It's not going to be an easy job as they go out to tackle 10 difficult forestry stages. Vincent, on the gravel stages, number one on the road. That's a challenging number to have.
That's right, it's a privilege to be number one, but it's a hindrance at the same time. We'll have to sweep the road, but we're looking forward to it, and we'll see how it goes.
Another man looking forward to the event was Gary Jennings in his recently acquired Subaru.
Well, a surprise entry on the list this morning, Gary. Where did this come from?
Yeah, it was a last-minute deal done yesterday, so yeah, it's quite exciting to get back to the forest.
When did you last contend in a forestry rally?
I'm not sure about that. It's probably 4 or 5 years ago now. So yeah, it'll probably take today to get back into it again, you know. But tell you the truth, I'm really looking forward. You know, I like sliding about. Hopefully this car should suit my style.
For the last couple of years, contender in the Tarmac Championship. Great to see you back out in forest, Frank.
Gravel's my natural habitat. You could say I enjoy coming to the forest. I feel at home there. I'm looking forward to the Tarmac this year as well. But this is a great championship. It's always run a good rally up here, so I'm looking forward to it.
A great sponsor on board this year as well.
Yeah, Valvoline, great sponsor for the championship. It's great to see them back on board. So we'll give them as much support as we can as well, and hopefully it'll all come through. There'll be more competitors out, and there'll be bigger crowds, and the whole thing will come together.
Showcasing his newly engined Escort in Donegal was Adrian Hetherington.
Adrian, all the talk that here this morning is about Adrian Hetherington's new engine. Tell us about it.
It's a V6 Rover, something similar to a 6R4 Metro, only it's just a 2-litre engine, you know. Hasn't the same capacity. So it's been on the go now a couple of years. This is its first run out. We've done a couple of 2 or 3 tests, but not too much. We're it's all new to us today.
Also piloting a newly built Escort was forestry regular James Coleman.
So with the new rebuild, you're ready to tackle the 10 forestry stages today, James?
Yeah, absolutely. I always loved the forestry, obviously, breed, and I mean the forestry championship is a super championship. Valvoline are behind it again this year, and it's great. You know, the rounds will be super. I think there's 7 rounds this year, and we're committed to it, and we'll finish the championship hopefully if we can keep the car together and it goes as well as planned.
With the rain coming down, conditions weren't ideal for Vincent McAree at the start of the 10-stage Abbey Hotel Donegal Forest Rally. To make matters worse, his Evo 9 lost anti-lag on the opening loop, and the loss of power left him 8th overall after stage 4. McAree wasn't the only one with problems though, as there were a number of retirements over the opening loop, including Enda McNulty in the Subaru. Also out was 2010 forestry champion Pat O'Connell, who retired with an overheating engine on stage 1. Martin Kearns' rally came to an end on stage 2 when gearbox trouble forced the Tyrone man's retirement. The last-minute acquisition of his new Subaru meant a late seeding for Fermanagh's Gary Jennings, but he was running 5th on the road. Although new to Gary, the car is actually 18 years old, but it wasn't showing its age as it forged out a 12-second lead after the opening 4 tests.
3, 2, 1, go. 61 right plus.
Next up was the Evo 9 of Tyrone's Ian Cochran, who survived a few moments to hold 5th overall after stage 4.
6 right minus after the 150. 6 right minus here onto 130. 5 right plus long 130. 5 right minus long over rough. 200 over bumps. 5 right minus long over rough. 200 over bumps. 4 left plus Titans at the second wins. Remember the really long one. 4 left plus Titans at the second lot of wins. 170 over crest. Titans up here now. 170 over crest.
With Class 12 national and border champion Arthur Kearns navigating, Colin Britton was in good hands as he ploughed through the stages to hold 4th overall. On a quicker pace in the older Evo 6 were Monaghan brother and sister crew Stephen and Suzanne Wright, who held 2nd place after 4 stages.
Suzanne, co-driver to Stephen, and your brother is 2nd behind Gary Jennings at the moment. The pace has got to be fast out there.
Yeah, we're having a great run so far. There's a long way to go yet. I don't even think we're halfway through the stage miles, so just got to keep going, keep it on the road, and hopefully we'll stay where we are and maybe get a bit closer to Jennings.
Core crew Gerard and James Lucy held 6th in the Mitsubishi Evo 8. In the 2-wheel drive battle, it was no surprise to see Frank Kelly ruling the roost after the opening loop. The Tyrone man led the class and held 9th overall in his newly engined Mark II. Quickest 2-wheel drive man on stage 4 was Adrian Hetherington, whose V6 engine was on song now after struggling to find its voice on the early stages. Shane McGurr's starlet was bedeviled by technical gremlins on the opening loop, but the Tyrone man still held 10th overall.
So Shane, a couple of unexplained stops for you this morning in this car.
Yes, the car's cutting out on the last stage there 3 or 4 times, so we just haven't got to the bottom of it, so we hope it just doesn't reoccur.
3, 2, 1, go right up on 42 right.
It wasn't the best start either for James Coleman, who had to contend with a puncture and brake loss on the opening loop.
130, middle over flat crest 350, 1, 5 left in at bottom, 5 left in at bottom. Okay, middle over flat crest 350 and 5 left in over bottom. 5 left in at bottom and 400 up the middle. 5 left in, keep in. 400 up the middle. Well done.
I think we have a puncture, you know that?
Think so?
With a while, yeah.
With their escort the only Class 4 machine in the rally, Gary McInhelly and Pat McCrudden decided to have fun on their home rally. The Evo 9 of Louth's Brendan Comiskey held 7 overall after 4 stages, while local man Connor Harvey drove great over the opening loop to hold 4th place.
3, 2, 1, go. 20. Long right one, don't cut, but it tightens. Long left one. Tightens.
It was a shaky start for US-based driver Patsy Keenan, who was over from the States once again to defend his Group N title.
Beat left over crest jump here, stop. Right 6 over big crest jump here. Just keep it in. Keep down. Glad dips. 130. Right 3 tight. Repeat, right 3 tight. 40. There's the one with the lines now. Double crest jump there left. 2 jumps. Watch yourself. Right. 170.
You're still punching in those air miles.
Still punching in those air miles. I'm still based in the US and I still like to come back to the Irish forests. I think it's the best forests in the world maybe for a gravel rallying, and certainly the best organisation and the best team camaraderie and a great competitive spirit.
Well, Gary, you didn't hold back in getting acquainted with this car. 19 seconds of a lead on the first stage.
Yeah, it's good. You know, it felt very good in the first stage, so we just kept momentum going, and then we backed off a wee bit there towards the end because, well, number one, I don't want to do any damage. So, no, the car feels very good, you know, and it does everything I wanted to do.
We're 12 seconds behind him now and having a good run. A lot better than we thought we'd go, so very happy.
Colin, you've got that 3rd place at the moment. Are you content there?
Yep, we're pretty happy. I haven't been out for 6 months, so we're pretty happy to be on the pace again, you know, so We're getting on the swing of things, go a bit harder now maybe.
So Vincent, difficulties in the opening loop for you?
Yeah, it was difficult opening loop. The anti-lag went on the car and the oil started coming out onto the windscreen, but we managed to get into service and the boys are sorting it out here now, so hopefully we get back and pull back a few minutes, or a few seconds even.
Sadly, the repairs didn't go well and Vincent was forced to withdraw from the rally. Elsewhere, there were only minor repairs required for two-wheel drive leader Frank Kelly.
As described by yourself, Frank, back in the natural habitat, how's it treating you?
I'm breaking things as usual. It's going grand. We hit a rock on first stage about halfway through and we bent the strut, so we've sort of limped through the 3 stages to get to here. Hasn't cost us that much time, but we're just being very careful of the right hand side of the car, so we're getting it fixed now and hopefully we'll be back on full attack.
So that's how things looked at the top of the table, with 4 stages down and 6 to go.
Gary Jennings, the Keshman, has left service with a 12-second advantage over the Monaghan crew of Stephen and Suzanne Wright. Join us after the break to see who'll take victory at the first round of the Valvoline National Forestry Rally Championship.
Welcome back to the Abbey Hotel Donegal Forest Rally, where round 1 of the Valvoline Forest Rally Championship was taking place around the misty hills of Donegal. The afternoon test consisted of 2 loops of 3 stages, and Gary Jennings added another 19 seconds to his lead over the first loop to hold a 31-second margin after stage 7. Despite setting fastest time on stage 6, Ian Cochran couldn't improve on 5th place after a punishing drive over the rough terrain.
Easy, watch 6 right over big crest jump line. Watch this one now. Into bed dips. Roughly 130 over crests. 3 right 40. 3 right up here 40. Keep left over double crest jump, don't cut. Keep left, don't cut, and to left into 2 jumps into right 170. Right 170, middle over crest bump and left 150 past the logs. Crest bump and left 150.
There was no change in Colin Britton's position as he held on to 3rd place behind Stephen Wright, who had been 5 seconds per stage quicker than Britton in the morning. But they matched each other stage for stage in the afternoon to set up an epic battle for 2nd place on the final loop. Cork pair Gerard and James Lucy fell off the pace slightly during the afternoon, and their grip on 6th place was becoming tenuous. Applying the pressure was two-wheel drive leader Frank Kelly, who was on maximum attack after fixing the bent strut in his Escort. The Tyrone man was up to 7th after the loop. Fellow county man Adrian Hetherington was also on a quicker pace as he climbed to 9th overall and clocked some top speeds over the 3-stage loop. Getting a little sideways in the starlet was Shane McGurr, who seemed to have sorted out his technical gremlins and held 8th overall. Less happy with the setup of his car was James Coleman. The Tipperary man held 18th overall after stage 7.
Crest jump past the logs, 80 over rough, 3 right, into 4 right and don't cut it, 4 right, don't cut it, 40, 2 left.
Fucking hell, she's all over the place.
2 left, 4 right, don't cut, 60, crest and a 5 left deceptive. Fucking it is all over the place.
All over
5 left deceptive, watch it.
16 seconds in arrears was entertaining local driver Gary McInhelly. Stage 7 proved unlucky for 7th place Brendan Comiskey, who retired with mechanical trouble in the Evo. No such trouble for Conor Harvey in 4th, just 4 seconds behind 3rd placed Colin Britton. Retirement beckoned for Patsy Keenan, who picked up a puncture before withdrawing after stage 7.
Right 6 and long left 5. Long left now, 200. Stay on her, stay on her, stay on her. Stay on her. Good lad. Settle. Left 3. Left 3. Only 20 square right. 200. I think we have a puncture. Yeah.
After a troublesome morning in their escort, local crew Paul and Carl Reid were just outside the top 10 after stage 7. A stage 3 puncture proved costly for Bob Scanlon in the Evo 10, but the Dubliner was pushing hard now and he held 10th after stage 7. 9 seconds slower were Antrim crew Niall Henry and John Roan, who held 11th overall in the Impreza N12B. It was rally over for Pat Price, who got the line all wrong for this stage 5 jump as he ditched his Evo 6. 2 stages later, it was Martin Howley's turn to retire. A visit to the scenery clearly took its toll on the local man's Evo 9. Meanwhile, out at the start of stage 8, it was a confident Gary Jennings who prepared to tackle the final loop of stages.
Gary, it's been success after success on the gravel stages for you today.
Yeah, it's been very, very good. You know, we're really enjoying ourselves now, which is why we come here to have a bit of fun.
Ian, you pushed on and that fastest stage time came?
Yes, it was the best stage of the day for us. Not sure how we took 4 out of Gary on it because he's been beating us well all day, but we did, so we're happy with that.
Suzanne and Stephen holding your own and holding on to second place, which is more important?
I'd be quite happy to hold on to second place anyway. There's still 3 stages left to go yet though, and they're definitely going to be tough, so just have to try and get through them and not fall back any further.
So before the overall battle concludes, we turn to the other classes now. And it was victory in Class 1 for Andrew Fanning and Derek Gibbs. The Tipperary crew finished 22nd overall in the Valvoline-sponsored Ford car. Class 2 was won by local crew Dermot McRory and Eamon Doherty. They brought the Talbot Sunbeam to 18th overall on their home rally. There was another home win in Class 3, where Adrian McElhilly and Shane Buckley took the top spot in the Peugeot 206. They finished 13th overall. Winners of Class 4 were more locals, Gary McElhinney and Paddy McCrudden, who finished 17th overall in the escort. There was yet another local victory in Class 7, where Dermot and John McCafferty took the win and finished 21st overall in the Subaru. Making his rallying debut at his local forest rally was Quaylon Gaffney, who brought his Vauxhall Nova home to 4th in the junior class with Barry McGill navigating. Galway crew Dean Raftery and Kenneth Cheal took 3rd in the junior class in their Honda Civic. Runners-up in the junior class were the Cork Kerry pair of Daniel Cronin and Sean Duggan, who finished 19th overall in the Peugeot 206. Taking the win in the junior class was Dubliner Ian Downey with navigator Sean Bruton. The pair finished 15th overall in the Opel Corsa. New to the 2012 Valvoline Forest Championship is the historic class, and taking the maiden win was Derry's Tommy O'Connell. James Coleman and Kay Shanahan had to settle for 5th in Class 5 and 16th overall. Fourth in Class 5 and 10th overall went to local crew Paul and Carl Reid. One place ahead was Tyrone crew Shane McGurr and Niall at Toyota Connolly started. Adrian Hetherington and Gary Nolan outshone everyone bar Gary Jennings on the last stage by setting 2nd quickest time, but they had to settle for 2nd in Class 5 and 8th overall. 18 seconds quicker over the 10 stages were Frank Kelly and Liam Brennan, who took the 2-wheel drive win and finished 6th overall. In Group N, Dubliners Stephen Cullen and Seamus O'Grady recovered from this early mishap to finish 7th in class and 20th overall. Fellow Dubliner Bob Scanlon took 6th in Group N and 12th overall, with navigator Liam McLaughlin. Antrim's Niall Henry and John Rowan pipped Scanlon by 3 seconds on the last loop to take 5th in Group N and 11th overall. 7th overall and 4th in Group N went to Cork crew Gerard and James Lucy. 3rd in Group N was Tyrone Kerry pairing of Ian Corcoran and Ray Fitzgerald, who finished 5th overall. Locals Conor Harvey and Paddy McDade took 2nd in Group N and 4th overall. 1 second quicker after 10 stages were Group N winners Colin Britton and Arthur Cairns, who finished 3rd overall in the Evo 9. Reacting well to the pressure from Britain on the previous loop, Stephen Wright pushed hard on the final loop to take 2nd overall by 13 seconds. But the young Monaghan man had no answer to Gary Jennings, who was on a quicker pace for 8 of the 10 stages and took the overall win by a comfortable margin of 53 seconds in the end.
Gary, you've made it a worthwhile impulsive decision during the week.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's nothing happening on Wednesday, and all of a sudden there was a deal done on Thursday night late. Yeah, it's fantastic, and a fantastic effort by all the boys. So, yeah, really enjoyed it.
Was it what you expected today?
Probably wasn't a lot more. You know, I think we're just getting the feel of the car, and I know there's a lot more to come from this car, and hopefully we can maybe keep going now in the Forestry Championship, because this car's 18 years of age, hey, and it's still like, it shows how ahead of its time it was 18 years ago. So yeah, no, big smile on my face.
So it's congratulations to Gary Jennings and co-driver Barry McNulty, who kicked off the Valvoline Forest Rally Championship with a win on round 1 here at the Abbey Hotel Donegal Forest Stages Rally.
The celebrations are just about to commence here at the Abbey Hotel in Donegal town, and it certainly was a productive and impulsive decision for Gary Jennings during the week. He made it worthwhile taking victory here at the opening round of the 2012 Valvoline National Forestry Rally Championship. That's it for round 1. Round 2 will be in Carrick-on-Suir. We'll be there with all the best of the action. But for now, from myself and the rest of the crew here at the Abbey Hotel, see you soon.
The Valvoline Forest Rally Championship in association with Motorsport Ireland and Quilcha.